Hi, thank you for tuning in. We are Geek Colorado, and we are at the Colorado Anime Festival, and we are with
Adam Gibbs. I am an English voice actor for a lot of your favorite anime titles. Shinichi from Parasite, Sugawara from Haikyuu, Seita from Grave of the Fireflies, Shadow from Eminence and Shadow, and Tamsi from Gachiakata. So many more.
So you've done a lot of different projects. Do you feel like different genres within the anime sub-genre, I guess you could say, it requires different skills?
Absolutely. If you're dealing with a character who's super earnest and light, very big-hearted, it requires a certain real kind of honesty. Whereas if you're playing some big wacky character, there's a little more room to be farcical and over the top. If you're in the shonen world and you're screaming and you're fighting, that's a whole different set of skills. That's where some of the most difficult stuff for me is where you can't really fake getting a big battle cry. You've just got to.
How do you not kill your voice when you're doing those?
Yeah, ones? Typically it's pretty typical for us to save a lot of those big screams for the end of your session. So in a 20-minute episode, if I've got say 150 cues, maybe 5 to 7 of those are going to be really big screams or power moves or exerts or painful, getting hit or stabbed or whatever. So we'll skip over those, and then at the end of the session we'll say, okay, you ready? And here we go, and then we'll knock them out, and I'll go have some tea and drink a lot of water, and then I'm fine. Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite parts that you have done is Parasite.
Yes.
So my question is, how would you adapt if you ever got a parasite?
Oh my gosh.
Especially if you can communicate with it.
Well, I would go see my primary care physician. That's really interesting. I would try to make nice, certainly. Which I think Shinichi learns, he certainly learns how to kind of coexist. But yeah, there's no kind of overcoming that power on your own. So it's really going to take some real, I think, mental trickery to keep the peace.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, what would you do what would you say to young actors trying to get into voice acting versus regular acting?
Yeah, well, what I'll say is I got into voice acting through regular acting.
Yeah.
I started in the theater, and what I always tell aspiring actors is that if you want to be a voice actor, that's wonderful. But directors and producers are not looking for someone who can make cool voices. They're looking for someone who can act. I always tell people to don't even think about the voice part of it just yet. That is certainly part of the skills that you learn in basic acting, but it's really about being able to fully commit yourself into being whatever character you're playing and thinking like that character and really looking at the world through their lens. And in your acting training you're able to do that so that by the time you get into the booth and you're required to have the voice and think about the very eccentricities of the tone and the timbre and all that, the pitch, that you're not worried about how am I going to act this moment. You're just able to kind of live it naturally through the lens of that character.
And then through your own personal journey, has there been like key pivotal moments, and what were those moments?
Yeah, well, it's funny that you mentioned Parasite. That's one of the big ones for me. It was the first time I was on Cartoon Network. It opened me up to a very large large audience for the first time, outside of just the typical releases of anime. And then also I did the live action dub of Parasite at the Maxim as well. And Crunchyroll, or Funimation at the time, they got the rights to the live action dub, whereas I did the anime at a different studio. But they wanted to maintain the cast, and so they brought me up, and that's how I got my foot in the door with Funimation. And so Tokyo Ghoul, Chainsaw Man, One Piece, My Hero Academia, now Gachiakata, I feel like I got all of those because, over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Originally I did Parasite the Maximum, the anime, so that's will always be a real pivotal one for me. And now, honestly, Gachiakata, I know we've just finished our first season, but there just feels to be a certain different level of inertia. Like it just feels very special. I got to meet a couple of wonderful Tamsin cosplays just about an hour ago. So it's super exciting to see the Gachiaku cosplays out there, and just thinking about what this world will continue to develop into is really exciting. So yeah, it's, you know, all of your characters, they say you love them like your kids, and they're all your babies, and you love them differently, and that is true. But those are a couple that stick out for sure.
And then in your downtime, what do you just find like that you enjoy for your own entertainment purposes? Maybe outside of anime, in anime, you know, what do you watch?
That's so sweet that you think I have downtime. No, when I'm not working, I'm a very proud father of 3 wonderful kids. I've got a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and about an 8-month-old. So spending time with my wife and my family, that's what I do with most of my time when I'm not working. I'm cooking all of our food, and I'm helping keep the house together, and I'm taking kids to ballet, and to their music class, and their swim class, and all the things, and just being present, you know, reading stories to my babies at night, you know, that's what I really do.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I play a lot of music, play a lot of instruments, so music is always therapy for me. I'm a woodworker, I like to build.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I build a lot of woodworking, cabinetry. And,
do you build toys for the kids to play with yet?
You know, not that I can think of. I mean, I've made little play tables and things like that, but yeah, we're not quite. And then cooking, I love to cook.
What's your go-to dish?
Oh man, well it depends. If I'm cooking for me and my wife, it's probably like some type of spicy curry or like a braised meat or something. If it's my kids, you know, they're a little pickier, so it's spaghetti night, it's taco night. Yeah, some of the easier, more palatable dishes. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for taking time out to
Thank
talk
you so
with us.
much.
And if people want to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
Yes, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, I'm on formerly known as Twitter. I'm Adam in Gibbs. I'm there all the time, so yeah, always feel free to reach out.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And as always, please like and follow. Bye.